So with that, it's my pleasure to first go to our candidate, Hans Anderson, for his 3-minute opening statement, after which we will go down the line. You ready? Take it away, Hans. You have a microphone right there. Please make sure you speak into the mic directly so everybody can hear.
1, 2. Oh, it's working. All right, well, I'm Hans Anderson. I'm running for the Orem City Council. I've been a member of the City Council for just under 4 years, and I've enjoyed myself. This is the first time I've held an elected office, and I've enjoyed my time on the City Council. 2 months ago, my wife and I came to another one of these debates over at the Senior Citizen Center, and she brought her bread. She makes the best bread in the world. And I'm glad to have her support, and I think maybe the reason I got to make it through this second round was her bread. People like her bread. Whatever I'm doing, they like her bread, so that's been helpful. She makes the best bread in the world. I've got some triplet grandkids over here, and this is a copy of my flyer. If you voted in the last election, you got a picture of this in your mail today, along with your ballot when you're voting. You got that. And what this shows is how the Orem City manager proposes to spend $32 million of your money in the utility rate increase. It's going to go up to $562 higher a year than what you're paying right now. You'll notice that the little green mark on it shows less than $100,000 of this money is actually going to go for pipes, infrastructure. I mean, less than a million of the 32 million. Now, I've got another flyer that, love these grandkids. Thank you, dear. This is another one. You wonder where I got those $32 million figures from. This is, if you go right across the top there, you see that red bar across the top there? If you'll type that into your computer, this is what comes up. This is Orem City's website. This is the layout of the 5-year projected increase and how they're going to spend it. So if you want to see my flyer, you can get that in the other room at my table, and this is the city's website, so you can see where my numbers come from. I'd like to have you look at that flyer. It's a great flyer because it lets you know where my numbers come from. Now, another chart I've got that I'd like to put up. Back in 1998, Orem City had debt, had about $25 million in debt. And it was for things like sewer, water, streets, public buildings of the city. And then 15 years later, Orem City debt had gone up 430% with a 6% increase in the population. This is one of the reasons I ran for city council, because I felt the city was losing focus. They're going deeply into debt. They should not be doing it. So thank you, and we'll get more of these posters later to discuss different things in the debate. Thank you. Tana?
Thank you. Debbie, your turn, please.
Thank you so much for coming this evening. I am Debbie LeRae, and I've lived in Orem for 22 years. My husband Jim and I met at the Winter Olympics and blended our 9 children. I had 4, he had 5. Hans's wife is probably a great baker, and my husband is an amazing chef. So he is a wonderful chef. So just so you know, we have great food in our house. We love Orem, and when we blended these family, we had a lot of expenses, and I want you to know that I understand limited incomes. There were times we were living paycheck to paycheck. We had 5 in high school, 4 in college, missionaries, braces, and I will always be sensitive to families and also the seniors who have limited income. And so I want you to know that that will be something that I'll always measure against anything that proposals that come to the city. How will it affect a family's budget? A little bit about myself. I'm running because I have a master's degree in public administration from BYU. This will be a great advantage. I've had a lot of classes that I'll be able to hit the ground running, and that means that I'll have great knowledge to bring to the city. I previously, before last year I quit, I worked for American Fork City as their economic development director, part-time, as well as the Chamber of Commerce executive. And so I have a lot of relationships across the state with the governor's office. I've done a lot of projects. I've helped over 200 businesses. whether they're expanding or trying to improve, or whether they're trying to just open. And so I've really worked hard to help businesses, and I feel like this relationships that I've established already will be to Orem's advantage. And just realizing that having a strong economic base, attracting strong jobs, gives us a broader base, which means our taxes are lower for everyone. And if we don't have really good paying jobs, we won't have the discretionary income that we need that funds government, because about 20% of Orem is funded by sales tax. And so we need to make sure that we have great jobs. I'm currently on the Orem Arts Council. I care about arts and recreation. This is a great quality of life that we have here in Orem, and I hope to know that I've been working very hard. My family also does the Orem Summerfest Parade every year. We've done that for 5 years. So we're committed volunteers. We really care about the community, and I'm running because I want to help, but I want to be sensitive to families' budgets, and I want you to know about that. I've had to manage my own budget, and I'll make sure that I'm always asking that question. How will it affect your budget? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie. My name is Sam Lentz, running for Orem City Council, obviously. I wanted to thank all of you for coming here. Not a lot of people think to come to a municipal city council debate. So it's a big win that we've got so many here tonight. Hopefully we get more that continue to come throughout. But I also wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to our police and fire. You might be seeing a lot more pink around Orem this month. It's Breast Cancer Awareness in October, and so they've inspired me to participate in that. So I appreciate the work that they do to keep us safe and protect it and really help build a better community here in Orem. I also wanted to express appreciation to Ty Reiser, who unfortunately had to withdraw from the race. I'm saddened by that. I hope that we can talk him into running again at some point in the future, but I wish him and his family and also his business partner and his family well as they deal with those challenges. So I wanted to tell you why I'm different. So you see a lot of suits up here on the stage. And Debbie, we're happy to have you up here as well. I wanted to tell you, yes, exactly. So I'm not a career politician. This is the first time I've ever run for office since probably middle school student council or something like that. I didn't have any desire to run for city council or any other kind of elected office until I started coming to the city council meetings and the planning sessions, the work sessions a couple years ago. And I realized that some of the challenges that we're dealing with here in Orem, some people don't notice them because Orem is such a great place to live. It's an affordable place to live. My wife and I moved here from California a little while ago. I started working from home and we were thinking, man, I could live anywhere. And so Orem was the perfect balance of all of those things. It was affordable, it was safe, there's great schools here. And I'm not running because I don't like Orem and I want to change it. I'm running because I love Orem and I want to improve it. I want to represent not only our current generations that we have here in Orem, I want to represent future generations in Orem. My wife and I are expecting our second child here actually the week after the election. So if I go silent right around election day, that might mean that we had to run to the hospital or something like that. But I want solutions that will last. I don't just want to improve Orem for the next 3 years or the next 5 years. I want to improve Orem for the next 30 years and the next 50 years. And we don't need to, pay tons and tons of money to make that happen. We can run the city smart, we can run the city efficiently, and we can do it in a way that we're building a better tomorrow. Thank you.
My name is Claude Richards, running for Orem City Council, and I want to tell you that I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited that you're here. There are a lot of things you could have done tonight that would have been something else, more fun than maybe this. I'm not going to tell you a lot about my qualifications. I have them. They're listed on my flyer. Pick one up on my table. I do want to give one disclaimer, though, before I start, and that is, I learned today that there's a poem being circulated that speaks negatively about some of the candidates, and some people are apparently trying to attribute that poem to me or my campaign. I want you to know that I had nothing to do with that. I don't know who did it. I didn't ask for it. I have not published, I haven't even read it. I don't even know what's in it. But I will tell you that I'm a little bit flattered that somebody felt that this campaign was enough of a threat that they needed to do something like that to try to impair credibility. They say that when a person's good with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. We are here at the debate sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, and so we're going to be talking about growth, we're going to be talking about economic incentives, we're going to be talking about utopia and all of those kinds of things. There are questions that are not going to be asked at this in this thing, and I think that I'd like to give you an idea, heads up, what some of those might be that you might be sensitive to in the campaign. For example, and these are some of the reasons I'm running, because these questions started to surface. How does unequal distribution of incentives demoralize our merchants and cause them to compete on an unequal field? How does restrictive zoning discourage our merchants and cause them to protest with words like heavy-handed, discriminatory, a major turnoff to business owners? And here's one: eventually the city will just squeeze everyone to Pleasant Grove and Provo. Is Orem accommodating and adapting to healthy organic growth, or is it trying to drive growth through incentives? How does the practice of unequal incentives lead to non-disclosure and non-transparency that we have in Orem now? What is Orem doing that has the longtime residents so upset enough to drive 4 referendum petitions in 4 years? You know, it's a bad way to govern, and the citizens don't want to do that, but the city council needs to pay attention when that happens, okay? Why is it that people they're holding meetings tonight to be concerned about huge high-rise buildings that are going up in their very neighborhoods? They're going to destroy their property values. Why does it feel, and I get this from people all the time when I'm out talking to them, why does it feel like the city council's not listening to the citizens of Orem? You know, I moved my family to Orem about 15 years ago. We love it here. We want to see those values preserved. Thank you very much.
Good evening, and thank you for being here. This is great to be here in the CIRA, and I appreciate the opportunities the CIRA has given over the years to provide opportunities for our kids and for our families to come together and enjoy entertainment. My name is Mark Seastrand. I've been on the City Council for 9.5 years. I grew up here in Orem. My father and mother moved here in 1960. I have gone to the local schools here. I'm a product of the Alpine School District and proud of that. I am also a product of Brigham Young University. I received a bachelor's in science in business and operations, as well as a master's in business administration from BYU. I've had the privilege of working for some fantastic companies here in this valley, and while having opportunities to move elsewhere, I've chosen to stay here with my wife Shelley and my 2 kids. I'm proud of the Seastrand name. My father, when he moved here, one of the first assignments he took on was to give back to the community. A school teacher by heart, but a volunteer by nature. And his first assignment was to collect money for the CIRA pool, the old pool that's no longer there, it's now a new one. But from the very beginning, our family has been devoted to our city and to giving back to our community. I've had the privilege of working on the City Council. I've had the privilege of working with so many volunteers, so many commissions, so many city employees, so many people in our neighborhoods that care about Orem City and give back. This is a great place to live. And while in campaign season we hear about all the gloom and the doom, all the problems that we have, I am here to say Orem is one of the best places in this country, if not in the world, to live. And indeed, many magazines have recognized it as such. I find it interesting that when we're focusing on how bad we are and all the challenges we have, that if you read just some of the national magazines that look at cities and their performance, Orem is ranked #1 as the best city for well-being. Orem is ranked #1 as the best city for successful aging. Orem is ranked #2 as the best performing cities in the country. Orem is ranked #2 as the best mid-sized cities for jobs. Orem is ranked #2 as the best place for business development and careers. Orem is ranked #12 as the safest city in the country. of cities this size. Orem is ranked number 24, also as one of the best places to live. That was ranked by Time Magazine. Orem is ranked number 30 as one of the 50 best cities in this country to live. I don't think we have much to complain about. I do think there's opportunities for improvement, but I am so proud to be part of Orem and so proud to be part of this wonderful community. Thank you very much.